you've seen astronauts stomping around on the moon in giant boots. But inside the space station, they're almost always just in socks or barefoot. Here's why a pair of boots up there is actually more dangerous than a floating screw. Many people think it's just for comfort, like kicking off your shoes after a long day at work. Or maybe they assume it's about saving space. But the truth is, the reasons astronauts ditch their footwear in orbit are far more complex and important than you might imagine. We're going to dive into why seeing an astronaut's bare feet isn't just a quirky habit, but a critical part of how they live and work thousands of miles above Earth. All rooted in the wild world of physics, safety, and even hygiene. It's not a fashion statement, it's a calculated safety measure that keeps them and the entire station running smoothly. To really get why shoes are a no-go, we first have to wrap our heads around what microgravity actually feels like. Down here on Earth, if you take a step, your foot pushes down and the ground pushes back, keeping you firmly planted. Your weight, pulled by gravity, locks you in place. Now imagine that weight is gone. Poof, vanished. That's microgravity. It's not that there's no gravity up there. It's just that everything, including the astronauts and the station itself, is constantly falling around the Earth, creating a sensation of weightlessness. So, what happens if an astronaut tries to wear a big, clunky boot in this environment? Let's say they try to push off a wall to move across a module. On Earth, that push would propel them smoothly. In microgravity, it's a whole different ball game. This is where boot drift comes in, and it's a huge problem. Think about Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you push off a wall with a big, stiff boot, that boot creates a massive surface interaction. The wall pushes back, but because there's no weight to keep you grounded, your body doesn't just glide. Instead, that forceful push can easily send you into a chaotic, uncontrolled rotational spin. It's like trying to kick a heavy soccer ball that's suspended perfectly still in a pool of water. Instead of the ball going far, you might just spin yourself around in circles while the ball barely moves. Once an astronaut starts spinning, controlling their movement becomes incredibly difficult. They might careen off a wall, bounce off a ceiling, and generally lose all sense of direction and stability. This isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Imagine trying to perform a delicate scientific experiment, fix a sensitive piece of equipment, or navigate a crowded module when you're constantly tumbling. It's a recipe for disaster, not just for the astronaut, but for the station's delicate systems. Bare feet, on the other hand, offer a direct, subtle connection. You can feel the surface, apply just the right amount of pressure, and receive immediate feedback, allowing for much more precise and controlled movements. This sensory connection is surprisingly crucial. Our feet are packed with nerves, acting like tiny antennas that tell our brains exactly where we are in space. This is called proprioception, our body's amazing sense of its own position and movement. It's how you can touch your nose with your eyes closed or walk without constantly looking at your feet. In the confusing, up is down is up world of microgravity, this sense becomes even more vital. Astronauts rely on every bit of sensory input to stay oriented and avoid bumping into things. Now imagine trying to use those sensitive antennas through a thick, heavy, insulated space boot. It's like trying to feel the texture of a carpet while wearing oven mitts. Boots numb that crucial proprioceptive feedback. Without that direct connection to surfaces and the subtle cues from their feet, astronauts can quickly become disoriented. Their brain struggles to understand their body's position relative to the station, which can lead to mistakes or even motion sickness. Bare feet, or even just thin socks, allow for that essential connection, helping them maintain their spatial awareness and feel more grounded, even when they're floating. Beyond just feeling around, there's a surprisingly important and practical reason related to hygiene: the space station's toilets. Yes, even in space, you have to go, but space toilets are a marvel of engineering, nothing like what we have on Earth. To use them, astronauts need to be securely fastened to avoid floating away mid-business. The toilets on the ISS come equipped with special foot restraints, often toe loops or foot bars, designed to hold an astronaut firmly in place against the suction mechanism. Here's the catch. These toe loops are designed to work with bare feet or thin socks. Those bulky, rigid space boots simply won't fit into the loops. They're too wide, too stiff, and too cumbersome. If an astronaut couldn't properly secure themselves, they'd be at risk of drifting away from the toilet opening. This isn't just awkward, it's a significant hygiene and operational problem in a closed environment where cleanliness is paramount. So, while it might seem like a small detail, the ability to properly use the facilities makes ditching the shoes a non-negotiable safety and health requirement. You might think that socks would be too slippery, causing astronauts to slide everywhere. On Earth, that might be true on a polished floor, but the International Space Station isn't built with polished floors. The surfaces inside the ISS are intentionally designed with textures and soft padding that provide just the right amount of friction for sock-clad feet. Imagine a very clean, somewhat carpeted or textured surface. Socks actually provide a surprisingly good grip on these materials. Hard rubber soles like those on traditional boots are a different story. These soles are designed to grip solid, immovable surfaces on Earth, like concrete or rocky terrain. In the microgravity environment of the ISS, where every surface is essentially a wall or ceiling that you might push off, hard rubber soles become a liability. They don't flex, they don't adapt, and they tend to slide unpredictably and uncontrollably on the station's surfaces. This sliding can lead to erratic and accidental movements. An astronaut might try to push off gently, and instead of gliding smoothly, their boot could slip, sending them ricocheting across the module or into sensitive equipment. Think about trying to ice skate without skates on a really slick surface. You'd be flopping all over the place with no control. Socks, however, allow for a much more controlled interaction. They offer adequate friction for necessary grip without making movements too sudden or violent. Plus, the soft nature of socks means they won't scratch or damage the delicate surfaces, wires, or instruments that are packed into every corner of the station. In an environment where every piece of equipment is crucial and often irreplaceable, avoiding accidental damage is a huge priority. This subtle difference in footwear actually makes a big difference in the day-to-day operations and overall safety of the mission. So, the next time you see an astronaut floating through the International Space Station, whether they're wearing those iconic grey socks or going completely barefoot, you'll know it's not just a casual choice. It's a calculated decision born from the unique challenges of living and working in microgravity. Astronauts ditch their shoes to maintain crucial sensory connection, ensure proper hygiene, and achieve precise control and stability in an environment where every action has an equal and opposite reaction. While fighting a rogue floating screw might be annoying, trying to control an astronaut sent into an uncontrolled spin by their own boots is a much, much bigger problem. Their sockless or sock-clad feet are their best tools for staying connected, clean, and stable. It's a testament to how every tiny detail, even what you wear on your feet, is meticulously planned for survival and success beyond our planet. If you found this fascinating, hit that subscribe button for more space secrets.